Thanks, Chrissy, and thanks again to RIU for putting on the premier Explorers Conference in Australia for us. Yeah, TG Metals, we're not just confined to gold. Gold is our main game, but we also have a lithium project as well, and we're progressing with that. Usual disclaimer. So both of our projects are located in the southeastern goldfields of Western Australia. Excellently serviced there by sealed roads. There's the Port of Esperance just down to the southeast of us, and there's also numerous processing plants around as well, not only for gold but also for lithium. Our gold project, which we acquired last year, we've done a lot of progress on that. We've got advancing on our updated MRE later on in March this year. And it's a project which has had historical gold production. It's on granted mining leases, and we're working towards recommencement of mining. Our advanced lithium deposit over in Lake Johnston, the Burmeister deposit, all that is ready for drilling out to the first resource. We've done a lot of metallurgical test work on that as well, and getting that prepared for our first studies. We have resource growth opportunities at both projects as well. So on the Van Uden project, I mentioned the MRE, which we have coming up as well, and we also have satellite opportunities as well for increasing our resources. And at the Burmeister lithium deposit, it's resource drill ready, and we also have the Jägermeister prospect as well, which is very lightly drilled. Exploration upside at Van Uden. We've done a lot of work this year defining the Van Uden shear, which is the main mineralised shear there. It's now 7 kilometres of prospectivity there. We've only really drilled around 2.5 kilometres of it at the moment. So there's plenty of prospects there for upside. And as I mentioned before, Jägermeister at the Lake Johnston project. Just on the corporate side, 24 million market cap. I think we're very undervalued for the prospects and projects that we have. We should be very close to production this year, and in our gold, and we also have an advanced lithium project which we're ready to kick into further growth as the lithium price improves. On the Van Uden gold project, just zooming in there, so it's in the Forrestania belt. It's got a long history of gold mining in Forrestania. We're south of Southern Cross. A 20% partner in our tenements owns the only operating gold plant at Marvel Lock, Bartow. There's also the Edna May gold processing plant as well, which is within trucking distance of the Van Uden project. And at south of Cosmic Boy, that's getting converted to a copper and gold plant later on this year. So all looking good for our Van Uden gold project. It's on granted mining leases. We don't have to construct haul roads, they're already constructed. Sealed road as well from Forrestania, on the Forrestania Marvel Lock Road all the way to Southern Cross. It's had historic production from 2 shallow open pits before at Tasman and Demon, and they also have some remnant stockpiles as well. Those are fully permitted for us to truck those off-site as soon as we get a toll milling agreement. We're growing our existing resource, so it sits at 227,000 ounces, but that will grow substantially in March once we put the update out. We've done a heap of drilling in the December quarter last year, and we're ready to update our MRE once we get our last of our assay results in, which should be in by the end of this month. This is a low-risk mining startup. As I said, we're on granted mining leases, and they are old Act mining leases. Just zooming in on that gold resource and the upside. As I mentioned before, 227,000 ounces at 1.1 grams per tonne. But the resource that was originally drilled there was only down to around 148 metres. That's, in these days, is a very shallow open pit. It's still 2.5 kilometres long, though. We have expanded the drilling there down to 200 metres plus, and we're still getting strong hits at those levels. It's also open along strike and down dip. We've recently had some success with a new discovery 550 metres to the south of the Tasman pit, and and that is looking like a lookalike for Tasman as well. So we're very encouraged with that, and there's very light drilling in between Tasman and that discovery. So the opportunity for expanding the resource along strike is huge. And just looking at the high-grade zones there, some good numbers there, 10 to 15 metres, up to 30 metres, well above 2 grams and the 30-metre intercept there at 1.6. And that's also fairly shallow as well. As I said, enormous expanded strike upside there. Earlier on in 2025, we did analysed some soil samples for gold. Hadn't been done before. A lot of the soil sampling was done out there was for lithium. But then we went back, did it for gold, and then we come up with all these anomalies along strike, along the Van Uden shear. So considering that we've drilled the 550 metres to the south, we're expecting to get similar results for those as we drill the other new targets along strike. There's also some additional targets to the west of Van Uden, never been drilled before, and those have popped up again through the soil sampling that we did earlier on the year. It's a large and strong system. It's not that complicated either. There's a few lodes in the system, but it doesn't really break up that much, and it's fairly continuous. And that's what I like as a geologist. I don't like to get too much complication, especially when we're modelling these things. Just zooming in again to the Van Uden gold deposit, and just seeing the expansion out there to the north and to the south. Two cross-sections are showing up there. So one in the north, and that shows that the Van Uden shear there is fairly flat. We haven't really been able to drill yet far enough out to the east to capture any drop-off in the steepening in the Van Uden shear there. We know it's probably there, but we've still got that work to do. What we have done is we've drilled further up dip from there, and we're getting great results there as well. That was never really attacked before in the previous historical drilling, and so we're adding to resources not only down dip but also up dip as well. And then with our recent drilling, this was only released just this week for the Zeehan prospect, which is just south of the Tasman pit. You can see there the Van Uden shear is still very, very strong, continuing at depth with great numbers there, well above 2 grams and well over 10 metres in width. And in fact, our last drill hole there on the eastern side was still ended in mineralisation, and we're going to follow that up with a diamond tail later on as well. We've currently got a diamond drill rig on site doing diamond tails on some holes and also doing some geotechnical drilling as well. And that'll allow us to do our first open pit designs once we get our resource upgrade. Just for some further upside as well, Gold City prospect lies 20 kilometres to the south of Van Uden. Is numerous historical gold workings there, which we're calling downtown. Those and the intercepts there from only 11 historic RC holes and 7 new RC holes that we drilled are very shallow, all less than 20 metres to intercept, but some good numbers there. 14 metres, 25 metres, 2 grams and a bit over 1. So that's shaping up as being a very good satellite deposit as well, and something to add to our resource inventory as we go forward. There's further upside as well on Gold City. So we've done some soil sampling there as well. There's several untested soil anomalies to the north of downtown, but also around downtown we've also seen that we've got this trend going off to the northeast. It basically doubles the footprint size of the downtown anomaly. And you can see there on the cross-section, we're basically getting hits all over the place there. We haven't really been able to put 2 and 2 together on the actual orientation of the structures there. So we've got a lot more drilling to do as well, and we'll be getting stuck into that later on this year as well, once we've got some more program of work approvals through. So we also haven't tested this to depth at all to any degree, so there's still plenty of potential for repetitions of these sort of what appear to be flat-lying structures at depth as well. So just onto the lithium. story. So Lake Johnston Project, this was a virgin discovery by TG Metals back in 2023, and it was basically defined from a soil anomaly, probably the first we know of any hard rock lithium deposit being defined by a soil anomaly without any outcrop. We've got an exploration target statement done on that. Now, the exploration target statement's not done on the geophysics or from any arm waving. It's basically done from the drilling that we've done. It's roughly at about 200 metres by 50 to 100 metre drilling spacing at the moment. To enable us to get the first resource on that, we need to close that up. But it is very consistent pegmatites, which is unusual for lithium pegmatites. Mostly lithium pegmatites will blow out at certain stages, and they'll be all over the place in terms of orientation. But our pegmatites at Burmeister are very consistent, and we know when we drill somewhere we're going to hit it. We've got some very good intercepts there too. You can see over 20 metres at well over 1.1% lithium, and we've done a lot of metallurgical test work on this deposit. So basically all we need to do is drill it out and we can start our first studies. And just going then to the upside, so it's not just the Burmeister deposit as well, but there's also Jägermeister, which is just to the northeast of Burmeister. We haven't drilled much on that at all. We've only done about 2 lines of drilling on it, but we've still got some great results, and they're all very, very shallow. So this is looking like another open pit opportunity for lithium pegmatites as well. We've done some, as I mentioned before, done a lot of metallurgical test work on the Lake Johnston project itself, and out of that has come some discoveries to improve the recoveries of spodumene. So we've decided on a hybrid flowsheet, so that's doing dense media separation. A lot of projects that do work on spodumene pegmatites only go for a DMS, or they go for whole of ore flotation. But the disadvantages of that is whole of ore flotation often gives you a low grade concentrate, whereas DMS will give you a higher grade concentrate and a cleaner concentrate. So we've gone for a hybrid. During the course of our investigations, we found there was a loss of selectivity in the flotation after we had done the DMS. So we worked hard to rectify that and find out what was the problem with that and why is this happening. We discovered it, we discovered the reason for it, and we found the remedy, and now we've applied for a patent on that, and that is going through the process now of becoming a granted patent. The aim here is for a long life, open pittable, standalone operation at Burmeister in the future. So what's our next steps and our pathways to production? So immediately it's on the gold. The stockpiles are fully permitted, as I said before, ready to go whenever we get our toll milling agreements finalised. Drilling at the Tasman pit's already done as well, to the base of that, so that we can zoom in there and then take out whatever's in the bottom of the Tasman pit, which is around 26,700 tonnes at 1.6 grams per tonne. The resource drilling, completed the RC, we're doing the diamond core drilling now, but we'll start the updated Van Uden resource at the end of this month, and we should have it out by sometime around mid-March. On Gold City, we need some more approvals down there before we start drilling again, but we've got new targets all along that shear zone there, and we'll get that underway later on in 2026. There's also, I haven't mentioned before, but we have laterite there, and the laterite is an opportunity for early stage production, both high-grade laterite to a nearby mill, as well as doing some processing on site. So for the value proposition, we're a dual commodity exposure. As the lithium price goes up, I'm sure we'll get stuck back into the lithium again on the drilling side. We have pathways to production that we've recognised and we're putting in place. Resource growth with an ongoing drilling, and we believe that is going to be a major upgrade to our resource, and we're also well funded to get through our current programs. Thank you for your attention.